said go to the car. David stands with his sneaker toes on the top step, like it's a diving board, and he's choosing whether to jump. 5 o'clock, he says. The right answer would be maybe, but David only wants surefire answers. Yes and no, and Wednesday at 2 o'clock, but never maybe, or it depends, or worst of all, I don't know. Next door, the movers set the couch on the driveway. If I hurry, I can ask them before they head into the house. Okay, I say. Dad will pick you up at 5 o'clock. That's the rule. David leaps down the steps just as the moving men climb into the van. He might not understand some things, but David loves rules. I know I'm setting up a problem for later because Dad's always late, but I have rules too, and one of mine is, sometimes you've got to work with what you've got. I take David's elbow to hurry him. Let's go past the fence and talk to those men. A little spring mud remains under the pine trees near the fence. Only a month ago, puddles were everywhere when Mrs. Bowman called me over to say her house had been sold to a woman with a 12-year-old daughter. I knew you'd be pleased, she said. I told the realtor I have a girl just that age living next door and maybe they can be friends. A few weeks later, I had stood on my porch, waving, as Mrs. Bowman's son drove her away to her new apartment attached to his house. It feels wrong that Mrs. Bowman's not living in the gray shingled house next door anymore, and her porch looks empty without her rocking chairs. But I'm tingly with hopes, too. I've always wanted a friend in my neighborhood, and a next-door friend would be best of all. Usually in summer I do lots of things by myself because my best friend, Melissa, spends the whole vacation in California with her dad. This year will be different, though. The girl next door and I can do all my favorite summer things together. Swimming at the pond, watching TV, and riding bikes. We could even send midnight messages from our windows, using flashlights and Morse code, like next-door friends do in books. And the best part, David won't have to come since Mom won't have to drive me and pick me up. I bite my teeth together, fighting the memory of my last sleepover at Melissa's. When Mom came to pick me up, David raced around Melissa's kitchen, opening doors, looking for their cellar, even when Mom kept telling him this was a trailer and trailers don't have cellars. Real friends understand, Mom had said on the ride home. But here's what I understand. Sometimes everyone gets invited except us, and it's because of David. Walking toward the van, I study the moving men. One has a blotchy face and looks all business. The younger one wears a half smile and a dirty t-shirt and jeans. T-shirt man seems friendlier. Remember the rule, I whisper, my hand pushing David's back to hurry him. If someone says hi, you say hi back. Down the walkway, I run through conversation possibilities in my head, but that one rule should be enough. There's only one question I need to ask. Then I can take David right to the car. Hi, I call, reaching the corner of the fence. David flickers his fingers up and down, like he's playing a piano in the air. T-shirt man turns around. Do you know when the family's coming? I ask. Is it today? He looks to the other man in the van. When are the Petersons coming? If someone says hi, you say hi back, David yells. That's the rule. Both men stare past me with that familiar look. The wrinkled forehead look that means, what's wrong with this kid? I grab David's hands to stop his fingers. They're coming about 5 o'clock, the red-faced man says. That's what she said. 5 o'clock! David twists under my arm. My wrist kills from being curled backward. I grip my toes in my sneakers to hide the pain. Thanks! I pretend I can see my watch. Wow, look at the time. Sorry, gotta go. Chasing David to the car, I hear heavy footsteps.